I want to solve this equation, this quadratic equation, find the roots of it, the x-intercepts, the zeros of it, we can put this as y is equal to 0, and we can factor it. So that's kind of what we did yesterday. So we would go 0 equals 2 sets of brackets, right? Okay. What are the factors of x squared? X. What are the factors of -6 that add to give you -1? 2 and -3. 2 and -3. Good. Therefore, we have x plus 2 is equal to 0, and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So what we want to do is we want to solve these questions as best we can by factoring as much as we can. But sometimes that's not an option. Sometimes it's not easily factorable. So what do we do next? Well, you can punch it into your calculator and you can find the zeros using your calculator. That also works. All right, but then you may not be given the option of a calculator. Okay, so what do we do at that point then? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the exact same question, and we're going to solve it by not using the calculator, but by using what we call the quadratic formula. And the quadratic formula works great when you have it in this general form here. Okay, so the first thing I want to know is I want to know what A is, B is, and C is. So what's A? 1. What's B?
-1.
And C is? -6. Okay, to find them, we use the following equation. Minus B plus minus. B squared minus 4AC over 2A. This is what we call the quadratic function. Now, in order to use this quadratic function, or we can use it anytime we want, but it's more work than as if we factor it. It's more work than if we graph it and we find out what the values are on our calculator. All right? But sometimes this isn't factorable. This one we know is because we just did it. So what we're going to do is we're going to prove that we got the last one right by using this equation. So I'm going to start by putting in my value for B. So my value for B is -1. Now I'm going to go plus -1 squared minus 4 times 1 times -6 over 2 times 1. And then my second one is going to be -1, and we're going to subtract all of that. So -1 squared minus 4, 1, -6 over 2 times 1. Okay, does anybody know why we have a plus minus there? Why is it plus and minus?
1 for each of the roots.
1 for each of the roots? But where does the plus minus come from? Why is it that we put a plus minus on it? Does anybody have any idea? Well, what am I doing to this right here? What am I doing to it? Okay, sort of right. But what am I doing to B squared minus 4AC? I'm taking the square root of all. What is the square root of 4? 2. Okay. What is 2 squared? What is minus 2 squared?
4.
Also 4. When you take the square root, you have to remember that you could have a positive value or you could have a negative value, right? Because plus 2 squared and minus 2 squared still give you 4. So when I take the square root of 4, I'm going to use the plus or minus 2. So that's why we do it this way. Okay, when you take the square root of a value, you have to understand that you could get a plus or a minus at that point. Okay, so now I'm going to solve it. -1 squared is 1. This is minus 24. So I've got 1 plus the square root of 25 over 2. And over here I have 1 minus the square root of 25 over 2. which equals to, what's the square root of 25?
5.
5 and 1 make?
6.
6 over 2 is?
3.
3. So there's the first one. Square root of 25 is 5. 1 subtract 5 is?
Negative 4.
Negative 4 divided by 2 is? Negative 2. Same solution. Okay? Use this as often as you can. When you cannot factor it, then we use this quadratic formula. So to do the quadratic formula, again, you'll be given that formula. You don't have to memorize it. You just have to be able to use it. I've got A, B, and C. I marked those down first. That's from an equation that's in that form right there, that general form. Okay? What happens if I don't have a perfect square? Well, if I don't have a perfect square, I'm going to leave it as a square root, as a radical, something we've already done. So for example, 4x squared minus 7x minus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, what is my A value?
4.
What's my B value?
Negative 7.
And my C value?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. So let's use the equation again. So minus 7. So x is equal to plus minus square root b squared, which is 49, minus 4 times my A times my C. Oops. Minus 3. And all of that is over top of 2 times 4 equals to 7 minus minus plus minus square root of 49 subtract 16 times 3 is 48, so that's add. 49 and 48 make 97 over 8. If you left it as that, I'd mark it right. Okay? I wouldn't suggest using your calculator and simplifying that. I would leave it like that. Now, if you do, and you're welcome to find out what it is. Then you would go 7 plus root 97 over 8. And you'd go 7 minus root 97 over 8. I don't like decimals. Decimals are rounded. Decimals are not exact. This is an exact value because I left it as a square root. Okay? So it's up to you what you want to do with that. And I'm just taking a look at it to see what else there is. There's nothing on there right now. Okay, so that's 7-7 today. All right. 7-8 is problem solving. So if you want to take a quick look at it, 7-8 will be using your calculators to solve, to find roots and vertices. So we'll look at.
Mr. Before you go on, that 7, what was that all about? What were you showing us there?
Right here.
No, like the whole question, like how was it different than the other one?
How's this different?
Yeah,
This wasn't factorable.
okay.
Okay, couldn't factor that. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 7.8 then is solving problems using quadratic models. So you're going to be given the equation and you have to solve it on your calculator. So you just have to determine what you're going to find. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the roots? Are you looking for the maximum value? Are you looking for a minimum value? What are you looking for? So let's look at the first one. You're an astronaut on the moon. You hit a golf ball with your golf club. The height of the ball, ht in meters, over time in seconds, could be modeled by this function. H of t is equal to 0.81t squared
Negative.
negative, thank you, plus 5t. Okay? So there's what I have right there. What is the maximum height of the ball? Well, if you're to graph this, I want you to think this through. What does the height of a golf ball look like? Well, at 0 seconds, where's the golf ball going to be? At a height of what? 0 meters. So it's going to start right here, right? Then the ball's going to go up, and it's going to return back down. What do you know about the time it takes to get up and the time it takes to get down?
Should be equal.
See, it's going to be exactly the same, right? Because the only thing affecting it is gravity going up, and the only thing affecting it going down is gravity. So the time, this is my x-axis here, that's my time, this is my height.
But if it's in space, wouldn't it just keep going up?
Should, because there's no gravity. You're right.
But the moon does have gravity.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
The moon does have gravity, it's like 0.16 per Earth.
Yeah, you're right. It's a sixth of what it is on Earth. Okay, but not enough to get a golf ball to fall back down the same way it would on Earth. Okay, you're right. It would probably go forever and then come back down forever. So there's a lot of forever. Okay, so let's pretend that this question makes some sort of sense. So then, how do I find the height of the golf ball? Well, we put this into our calculator, and what's the x value going to give us here? What's the x value going to give us? The axis of symmetry, right? But what else is it going to give us? It's going to give us the time it takes to get to its maximum value. Because it's a maximum value, that will also give me the height. So how would I find it on my calculator? Second trace, and I would find my maximum value. So you can punch that into your calculator. Y equals negative 0.81 t squared plus 5t. And then you could find out the time it takes to get to its maximum height. And then you could find out what that maximum height was. All right, so this is a graphing exercise. The majority of these questions will be graphing. Okay, you're going to graph the majority of these questions. There are only 6 questions in this section. All right? Anybody punch it in and find out what the value was? Okay, change your window. Change your window. Okay? Or zoom, you can zoom fit first, right? Or you could change your window. So do this as your window.
So once you get to the second function, then what do you
You hit max, right?
get?
And now it asks you for what?
Left bound?
Left bound. So you would hit enter when you got the cursor right there.
Okay. What if it's like moving on this side?
Then move it.
10 and negative 31.
Okay? Yes.
I don't know if I'm correct, but you want the Y?
I want the X and the Y.
Oh, okay.
And then the right, just a second. Zach, before you give it to me. Trend. Left bound to the left of it, anywhere to the left of it,
Okay.
to the right of it, and then hit enter twice and it'll guess it for you. Zach, what do you got, bud?
X equals 3.2446,
And Y is?
7.695. So
Anybody else get that?
Yeah, 3.086 and then 7.717.
Okay.
I got 3 and 7.8.
More specific. Okay. Yeah, we'll get that to you in a second. Okay? Alright, so first thing I would do, read. y equals this.
I don't know if I typed this right.
Yeah.
It's right?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so there's your graph. Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay. Now, second, times it. Wait, you go to maximum. Right here. Okay, so now, they ask for the left hand.
Maximum height.
They really just want to take it somewhere just to the left of that maximum value. And then once to the right of that value,
Yes.
so you go over here.
Yeah,
Enter one more time. It's guessing. So there's your answer right there. Okay, Zach, do you know what you did wrong?
What?
So that's a no?
No,
You don't know what you did wrong?
no.
Okay, let's check your equation again, okay?
That's,
Let's start with that, because Bree got it right here. Read me the numbers.
3.086.
And what's the y value?
7.716.
Okay? Zach, what does your y equals look like?
Like 7 point,
No, what does your y equals look like? Like, go to y equals,
okay.
and does it
Y
say
equals-
negative
Negative 0.81 x squared plus x 5x.
plus 5x?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now hit enter. Or your graph.
Yeah.
And you got the shape in the graph?
Yeah,
Okay, excellent. Now I want you to go second function trace,
maximum.
maximum. So you're gonna get your left bound up here somewhere, close to your maximum value. Make sure it's to the left of that. And hit enter. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be anywhere from here to here. Anywhere in there. So you hit enter, then move it to the right. So it can be anywhere in here as well. Hit enter, and enter again.
Okay, I got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have issues with the calculator right now? All right. That's all there is for 7.8. Which takes us to the end of this chapter. Okay? So if there is no ski trip, we test Wednesday. If there is a ski trip, we're going to have to test Tuesday. So it means we got to jam this in for today and tomorrow.
Be ready Tuesday.
So be ready for
Then we're
Tuesday.
lucky.
We'll know by Monday if we're going
Yeah.
now. Is what Mr.
Okay, so any other questions? Were there any questions from 7.6, yesterday's work? There's not a lot of questions. There's only 6 and 7 and 8 questions in each of these. So there's not a lot of questions. Anybody have any from yesterday? Or those 7, 8? Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do right now then is I want you to finish off to the end of 7.